time this weekend. This is the part where I need your energy. So, awesome crowd. Are you ready for a show? Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage your moderator. Give it up for Steph Strickland.
I love to see you already lined up to get your questions answered. So let's get right to it, shall we? I do want to say thank you guys for being the most amazing audience. I've done a lot of these and I appreciate the energy and the passion and how cool you guys are and how great you look and how great you've been to our celebrity guests. And now, without further ado, welcome to the stage, Mr. Bryce Papenbrook! In my life, all the time, always, forever.
I'm sporting my Jaeger expression.
The bracelets are just so cool. I love seeing that, like people sharing a little bit of themselves with you. It's just fantastic.
I've received so many incredible gifts from artwork to things like these bracelets to t-shirts people have made. Like, I just always appreciate that. And I'm terrible at drawing, so like, I just love the great art that people bring to me. It's so cool.
Where do you keep it at home? Do you have a giant office? I know you have a new studio, but...
Yes. I mean, it's a growing and growing collection of art and things that people have given me. By the end of event, I have like this big like offerings like section that I've been showing off, so it's always so fun.
I love that. I'll start by asking, and then we'll turn it over to fan questions here in just a second. How do you get into, let's talk about maybe your three main characters. How do you find the voice for those characters? So obviously Rin, Aaron, and Inosuke. Let's start with Rin.
Sure. Yeah, Rino Kumara from Blue Exorcist, if you guys have been watching. It's actually the easiest character to get into. I step into the booth, and I'm Rin, and that's it. He is probably the character that's closest to my speaking voice, and I put a lot of my own personality into the character as well. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to step back into that role after 7 years. Season 3, episode 1 in English hit streaming yesterday. I've been manifesting it for so long, and with each character also, I kind of leave the booth feeling differently. And with Rin, he just makes me happy. I leave like just smiling every single time, and it's been so nice to return to that experience.
What parts of your personality do you see in Rin?
I mean, quite a bit. I don't, I don't burn people with blue hellfire. Don't worry, guys. I won't do any of that. But he just enjoys little things that just make him happy and excited, and I get kind of the same excitement. I think that's a lot of me in the character.
I'm so optimistic, I'm occasionally annoying. I couldn't have it any other way.
You mentioned Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm not as angry as Aaron, but I do have to find a way to connect with each character. And with Aaron, that's me in traffic. Yeah, I live in Los Angeles. The traffic is terrible, and it makes me angry. So yeah, I leverage that. I also, throughout the recording, and we just completed a decade of recording for Attack on Titan. It's been an incredible journey, and I've grown so much through that journey. But I did use something else early on in the show, in season 1. I had this dog. Her name was Minnie. She's a Maltese poodle, and such a great dog. She loved to eat, and as they do, she really loved it. And I had this bag of chips that I was really looking forward to eating, and that poodle, she ate my chips! And that's where I find the anger for Aaron. Poodles.
And then we have to talk about Inosuke.
Yes, Inosuke. I mean, a different type of anger. And I find it in a kind of unique way through dark, disgusting coffee. Like black tar in a cup.
Gross.
Yeah, the kind that's so bitter it makes you angry. So I make this disgusting sludge. I take a sip and I'm just like, and that's Inosuke! And I can scream like him all day long.
Okay, so if they had jobs in the real world, what would they do?
Ooh, wow. I mean, Reno Kumara is a great cook. So I feel like he could open a restaurant. I would eat there all the time. I am not a good cook. I can barely use the microwave. Yes, I am not the chef in my house. So I look up, that's where we differ. Aaron, I don't know. He would do well in demolition. Just like destroying stuff, kicking down walls. He'd probably enjoy that. And Inosuke.
President.
I just want Inosuke to open a coffee shop. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me. Let me paint the picture of Inosuke's coffee shop. I want this to happen. All of the baristas would be shirtless.
Oh, God.
They would always spell your name wrong. They would scream at you, scream your order back at you, and they would stomp all the beans themselves, and all of the coffee would be disgusting. So everyone would leave there sounding like Inosuke. It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. I'm trying to think of a name. I think I thought of the name of a drink, the Boar Rush. That would be a good one. I'm still workshopping names, but I really want a commercial made for this coffee shop. Like, if you can imagine, like, soft, gentle music, right? Slow cuts fading away. We see steam rising. We see beautiful coffee being poured. His snout just coming into frame, just... Nice, gentle music. And then it cuts to him, and it just goes, drink it! And then cuts away, and that's the end of the commercial. Yeah.
That's outstanding, by the way. I'm in. Let's make this a reality as far as I'm concerned.
It's gonna be a franchise. Here we go.
I love taking questions from people out in the audience because it's their opportunity to talk to you, and the way that your characters that you voice have sort of touched their lives, and also learn about your craft from you directly. So
absolutely, yeah. I love taking questions too. I just ask. Actually, I can kind of see you guys.
They'll turn on the lights too.
Oh, thank you. Let me just take a poll to the audience really fast. So we don't get spoilers here. Who's seen all of Attack on Titan? Raise your hand. Awesome. Who's seen some of Attack on Titan? Raise your hand. Okay, cool. Don't spoil it for them. Who's never seen Attack on Titan? Raise your hand. Awesome. For you guys, it's like a lighthearted comedy. If you need a pick-me-up, just start Attack on Titan. I wonder if I get people with that. They'd just be like, oh, it's been a rough day. Bryce said to start the show.
Lighting myself up.
Episode 1. No! What?
How would you describe Attack on Titan to someone who's never seen it before?
Ooh, I've given this like elevator pitch to people that are like, yeah, I don't really watch anime, but what should I check out? I mean, all of humanity is inside these walls. And outside of them are these giant, naked zombies, essentially, that want to eat people. And they break in. And then you'll never guess what'll happen next. I didn't.
So again, no spoilers. Do your best when you formulate your questions.
Yeah, no Titan spoilers. Also, Demon Slayer and other shows that I'm in, I don't read the manga. People come up and sometimes assume that I know everything that's gonna happen, but voice actors really know nothing.
And then you get spoiled.
Yes.
I don't need to know this right now.
Right, I try to stop that because my method is to feel what my characters are feeling. And if I know where the story's gonna go, I might approach a scene differently. So don't spoil it for me.
This is gonna be good. So have we thought about our questions in line? I see, yep, okay, thank you guys. We'll come over here. What's your name?
Hi, Sarah. I know her name.
Hi, Sarah.
Yes, you should, as you should. No, I'm kidding.
We've hung out so many times, and I love your cosplay again today.
Thank you. So what's the most emotional non-spoiler scene you've recorded so far?
It's very tough to compare because I've tended to find myself in roles that get very emotional. And anime as a genre can take you really close to characters and break your heart so many times. I think these writers have gotten so good at that. I mean, it's so tough, it just depends on the show. You're in Seven Deadly Sins cosplay.
Yes.
When I voice Meliodas, all of the lines that he says to Elizabeth, I think about talking to my wife. I want to make them very real. And there's moments in Seven Deadly Sins where we learn more about their relationship that are absolutely heart-wrenching. And I left some of those sessions just hurt and broken. And you know, it's so fun to be able to go in and be goofy and pervy as Meliodas, some of my favorite moments as well, and then do something also that's so deep and touching. It really gives a nice rounded character and a lot to play with. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on the day.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Great to see you too.
So basically, you leave the booth, you're emotional, you're feeling super good, you say, you know what, I'm gonna go put on a light show like Attack of the Tiger, just see what That's exactly
I need something to pick me up. Let's throw on Attack on Titan.
Hi, question over here.
And I just really want to know, what are your opinions of Sword Art Online Abridged?
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like the Abridged series are very fun. If they're paying homage to the original, you know, I don't own this IP, so it's not really up to me what, how the original owners of the IP, the creators, how they feel about those things. So as long as the Abridgers are paying homage to the original IP, I think it's cool because a lot of people have come up and said, I started with Sword Art Online Abridged, and now I watch SAO, and I'm a big fan of Sword Art. And something witty, they're very nice. I think they're hilarious. Yeah.
Thank you for your question. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Kira.
Hey.
My question is, like, you have a lot of characters, but if Inosuke, Rin, or Cat Noir had a theme song, what do you think it would be?
Inosuke, Rin, and Cat Noir have a theme song? Wow, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it wouldn't be the same song. I feel like Inosuke would need some like thrasher metal or something really heavy.
Volbeat or something like that.
Right, yeah. I feel like Rin would appreciate that too at times. But he also might like something a little more gentle too. I'm not sure. I think Cat Noir would need something like French. I actually surprised my kids and took them to Paris. They love the show, which is the coolest thing because their friends are fans, and they come over and they're like, "Hi, Cat Noir." And my oldest, she kind of took my wife aside and said, you know, it's pretty cool that Dad is Cat Noir. And I was like, yes, I finally did it! I won the cool dad points. They're the only points that matter. So I surprised them. Literally, and they had no idea they were going. We went to an event called Anime NYC, an awesome event in New York. And then we're like, hey, we're flying to another spot in New York. They had no idea. We went to the airport, we got on the plane, and they're like, and JFK to Paris? And my daughter's like, did they just say Paris? And I filmed the whole thing. She's like, are we going to Paris? I'm like, yeah, got it! So totally surprised them. And in Paris, I just kept putting on like Parisian coffee music. Like, I just imagine like Cat Noir just like strolling to this nice Parisian coffee drinking music. Yeah.
What song would you pick?
For Cat Noir?
Or I mean, if it's all together.
I mean, Cat Noir, because, like, in the movie, he listens to that romance music, because
Yeah.
he's a hopeless romantic.
Yes.
Careless Whispers, yeah.
Careless Whispers. With God as my witness, that was in my head, and I almost said it out loud, and I was like, it's not about me, so thank you.
He literally sits in his room and listens to it, and Ladybug's like, hello. And he's like, oh, she doesn't love me.
Are there any songs that are just full of cat puns? Those would work too.
Probably.
Probably.
But Inosuke would be, like, heavy metal music.
I think so.
Playing really loudly, so it would hurt Sinistu's ears.
We're all in agreement on that. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, Steph. Doing good.
Good. We love Jeff.
Awesome. How's it going?
Oh, it goes. Anyways, my question to you is, you've voiced over so many different characters, and
I've won the anime lottery, yes.
Exactly.
I've been so fortunate.
So my question is, how do you keep all the voices straight in your head?
Yeah, it just depends also. I have tricks for each character. Like, I mentioned Meliodas, and what I do is, I raise my eyebrows so high it stretches out my vocal cords. I also play Zeldris, his twin brother, and I lower my eyebrows. It's all in the eyebrows, it works really well. I mentioned Coffee for Inosuke, Rin, I do literally nothing. Kirito, I think about putting my voice in the back of my throat, and I always do this one. If I die in the game, I die in real life. And I'm gonna fist too, yeah, it helps. When we record these shows, we also have what's called a vocal ref. So the first session, we kind of establish the character. We'll play and change the voice a bit, and once we find it, they'll record those vocal refs, and they play them for you when you start the session. Because sometimes you start your morning as Cat Noir, and to Christina, I'd say, hello, m'lady. And then in the afternoon, I'll be Meliodas, and to Christina, I'll be like, can we eat that piggy? Good times.
It's interesting, you've been in so many shows, but you've got some advice maybe to offer for aspiring vocal actors, which is you will audition a lot.
Yeah, that is the job. I think what you see very clearly, especially at these events, are like our posters with all of our success on them. But what you don't see is the graveyard of auditions that is my outbox. I tell people if you book 1 out of 100 auditions, you're doing incredibly well as a voice actor. It's just what comes with the territory. And that hard work is what it takes.
So it's good advice for anyone out there interested in pursuing the craft. Hi, question over here. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Maggie, and my question was related to Sword Art Online. And
Yeah.
It's, have you started filming anything for the new upcoming movie? And if not, which arc was the hardest for you to get into character for?
So I haven't heard anything about a new upcoming movie. If you have, and there's something out there publicly, tag me, so I can see it too, because they don't tell us anything. We talk for a living, and we're probably going to say the wrong thing. So if we don't know, we can't say anything wrong. So a few people have mentioned, this is coming for Sword Art. I'm like, that's news to me. I'd love to see it. And which arc was the most difficult? Again, there's challenges in each one. I feel like in the Aincrad, in that first arc, it was kind of like finding the intensity of the character. I've been a fan of that show forever. Matsuoka-san is the Japanese seiyuu who plays Kirito. He also plays Inosuke. I'm a big fan of his performance as Kirito. His screams, when I watched the show, would give me chills. And Alex von David, the director of SAO and Blue Exorcist and so many others, he's very particular in finding the right sound, the right cadence, the right vibe for moments like that. And in season 1, that scream at the end of episode 1, where he's fighting this wolf, he's learned that he's gonna have to fight for his life, and he's rushing to get ahead of the other players, and he lets out this big, intense scream. We probably did that 30 times. We would save the last 10 minutes of every session just to scream. So each arc, each movie, each piece of Sword Art as it kind of changes had its different challenges. In the latest progressive movie, I full-on blew out my voice, and it was worth it. Alex knows, similar to Meliodas, with Kirito and Asuna, I see a lot of myself talking to my wife. And in this movie, Asuna is in a very precarious spot, and Alex knows how I kind of connect to the character, and he goes, your wife's about to die, go, and I blew out my voice. Yeah. And it was worth it. It's, I am lucky enough to be part of these incredible stories to help tell them. And I really try to leave everything in the booth and give it my all and feel what those characters are feeling. It was absolutely worth it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What a great question. Hi, what's your name?
Hi again, Bryce.
Hey,
My
good
name
to
is
see
Andy.
you. Love the cosplay.
Thank you. So my question is, well, you can answer it based on either like skills, strength, or emotional, cognitive, or however you want to answer it. In the world of the Hunger Games, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Sorry.
No worries.
In the world of Attack on Titan, who do you think would have a better chance of surviving? And that would be based on Cat Noir, Inosuke, or Rin.
Wow, okay, I think all three have advantages in the world of Attack on Titan. I think the character who would enjoy it the most is Inosuke. He'd just be like, ooh, giant things I can fight. Let me rip their flesh. He'd just have fun with it. And he'd just be bouncing around killing stuff forever. I think Rin would fare very well at also, because he's got a nice sword that can cut, he can jump really high to be able to attack Titans. I think he'd do pretty well. Cat Noir, I don't know if he would enjoy being in that world. He would do okay, but I think he might find some trouble if he misses with a cataclysm. He's got to go recover, and yeah, it wouldn't be great. But yeah, I think, and this is really tough also, because I don't know if we're between Inosuke and Rin. I'm still part of those stories. I'm still telling them right now. Both of them are training. Rin's in school, and Inosuke's in Hashira training, as it seems. So you're both getting stronger. So I guess I'll save my response until I see how strong they get.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi.
Hi, Cat Noir.
Hey there, handsome.
What perfect cosplay.
My name is Ellen, and I was wondering, has there ever been a line that was like too cringy for you? Like, what's been like your cringiest line, or like, has there ever been a line that you're like, I'm not doing this, or have you just been like, it's a paycheck?
No, not too cringy, because I love the cringe. I lean into the cringe. It's the best. I feel like I don't really get like that embarrassed feeling. I just enjoy it. So, I mean, I have no problem with cringy lines. And while I do love to pay my rent, I never look at these projects as just a paycheck. Every time I step into the booth, it's a good day, it's a special day. I know how difficult it is to get that type of work, so I take it very seriously and try to bring my A game every single time. Whether it's a character like Cat Noir, who I've lived with for so long, or if it's Soldier B, who's gonna get blown up in the first episode. I've been a lot of Soldier B. So whatever it is, any day I get to step in the booth is a good day.
And then you didn't mention earlier, how do you get into voice for Cat Noir?
You know, there's not that much I have to do, because I feel like for Adrian, he's me but a little more shy, and Cat Noir is me but a little more suave. I think my preparation is I Google best cat puns, and then I just sit and wait until I can sneak them into the show, because they're not in the script. Ezra, the director, and I, we love doing this. There's these moments where we're like, the scene, it's like, it's missing something. Maybe a cat pun? And we sneak it in there. On the last TV special, there were these characters called Shadybug and Claw Noir from another dimension. Claw Noir is voiced by me, and I get to fight me as me, and we both love cat puns. So as we were recording, I was like, Ezra, could you please contact Guinness? Like, I need my world record now for most cat puns in a TV special.
I can't wait to see that plaque delivered.
I want it, I'm ready.
Thank you for your questions.
We need an official count.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Rob.
Hi, Rob.
I have a brief excerpt from Wikipedia, and I'd like you to tell us whether it's true and there's more story you want to add to it, or if it's fake information.
First off, Wikipedia is so great because people mess with it all the time, and I never adjust it or correct it. So let's see what this one is.
Before becoming a well-known voice actor, you competed semi-professionally in esports with a focus on the game GoldenEye 007 on Nintendo 64.
I mean, I'm the best. What can I say? I'm so good at GoldenEye. I think, unfortunately, this is not actually true. Even though I like to think it is, that is my best friend, who I talked so much trash to as we played GoldenEye all the time. I'm like, I would kill him and say, I'm so good, I should be a pro. And he changed my Wikipedia to say it. I've never corrected it because I love it. I've gone to conventions and gone to places, and people have been there with N64s and GoldenEye, and they're just like, we know how serious you take this game, so we went out and bought one. We found an N64 so you could play. I'm like, like that's so nice of you, but I'm gonna lose.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, but you really kick butt though. You like do train physically. You're into. I want to make sure that part's true because now my whole life is a lie.
Outside of GoldenEye, yes, I've been a martial arts practitioner. That was my first passion. My mom started me in a style called Tong Sudo when I was just under 5. It's the same style that Chuck Norris does, and in this crazy world that has become my life, I've actually done events with Chuck Norris and met him so many times. What an amazing guy. So I've loved martial arts, and I still train. I actually taught boxing and Muay Thai, so I still train a little bit of Muay Thai. I'm relatively new to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a full-on white belt, which means that I go to class and get choked out. There's other actors that do some of these events that are really great martial artists. One of the guys that I've worked with quite a bit, Johnny Bosch. Johnny is a legit martial artist, and for a little time when our schedules aligned, he would come to my house and pick me up before the sunrise. We would go and train, and he would choke me out. It was great. So I was just getting choked out by a Power Ranger. Actually, Steve Cardenas, who's a legitimate Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, was kind of teaching us and instructing us. So it was 2 Power Rangers choking me out before the sun came up. Good times.
Confirmed. You've heard it here first. I have a question over here. What's your name?
My name is Shine Hayes. My first anime was actually Sword Art Online. So
Awesome.
Kirito
Awesome.
was my guy for a while. But my favorite role of yours is Shiro from Fate.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, how did you get the voice down for Shiro?
How did I get cast in the role?
Yeah.
Yeah, I auditioned. I've been fortunate enough to be able to read for many of the lead roles in anime and shows. I had just been cast as something else, and I got the audition for Shiro, and I thought, this show has so much history. It's kind of a legacy role. They were looking for a fresh take on the character, because Sam Riegel plays Shiro in the original, and I take on the role starting at Unlimited Blade Works, which I refer to as unlimited budget because of how much that animation must have cost. It's beautiful. So I got the audition, and I'm like, there's no way it's gonna line up, and went in, gave it everything I could, and connected with the character right away and was cast. I couldn't believe it. I was really lucky that Tony Oliver was the director of the series. He had been the original director, had gone through all of the Fate anime in English. So he just knew the lore so incredibly well. And with that show, every line is intentional. So we would really take a lot of time to talk about, why is Shiro saying this? Why is he saying it in this way? What does this piece mean? And we kind of put that show all together piece by piece, and I just love how it turned out. I really want Ufotable to redo that first path with Saber, put it out in the world to manifest it. It would be so cool.
And lastly, what did you do to get the voice? Like, what did you know how you said the coffee, what else did you use for Shiro?
You know, I'm not sure actually. Shiro, like, is just one of those characters where I would step in and just kind of look at the character and just go. And it just kind of came out and flowed. Most of the time with anime especially, there's not much preparation you can do. Like, we don't get scripts ahead of time. Most of the time you're not able to watch the show, so you have no idea what you're doing. And a lot of times you don't know what character you're playing. If you're not one of the main characters in the show, and you're just a random ninja in Naruto, episode 400 and something, you have no idea what's gonna happen that day. And they're just kind of like, all right, we're at line 157, you are Ninja B, and you're gonna get kicked in the face. Okay, great, that was good, you're dead. Next episode, and you are Ninja C, and you're gonna get kicked in the face. Okay, great, next episode. Like, that's how it usually goes. So there's not much you can do to prepare for that.
Thank you for your question. Hi, question over here.
Hi, I'm Sully.
Hey.
Big fan of all your work.
Thank you.
Originally, I was going to ask, have you ever blown out your voice? But that's kind of already been covered.
Yeah.
So I would actually have sort of a crossover question for you, because there have been lately shows like Isekai Quartet where we see characters from different IP coming together. So of the many characters you voiced, are there like any two in particular you can think of off the top of your head that would be really fun to do a scene of them meeting?
Oh, so I want me to meet me?
Like, Inosuke meets Meliodas, or like Inosuke walks into Meliodas' bar.
This has actually happened. And I had no idea it was gonna happen, and it did in a game recently. So there's a series called the Tales games. So Tales of Arise, has anyone played?
Yeah.
Such a great game. If you haven't checked it out, it's awesome.
I'll have to.
I play a character called Law, and Law is all about punching and meat. A great character, perfect for me. And there's some DLC where they meet Kirito and Asuna. Literally, you can fight me as me, and it's the best. And they have like witty banter back and forth. Like with Tales, there's always these skits that come in between like where you're moving in the JRPG, and we have some great banter back and forth. Yeah, we meaning me and me. It's great.
So many bees. Thank you very much, Sully. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Lanny.
Hi.
So my husband and I, we enjoyed meeting you on Friday, and I know you mentioned already you think of Asuna and Elizabeth, and you talked to like we about your wife.
Yeah.
So who do you think about when you're yelling at Tanjiro, and should we be concerned?
Actually, it's so funny. I think Zach Aguilar does such an incredible job with the role. I started watching the show right when I got the audition. I was like, oh, just check this out. And then I watched an episode, and watched another one, and watched another one, and watched another one, and really fell in love with Demon Slayer. And Majiro is just one of those characters that you want to win, that you can cheer for. You really can, and it's always so rough for him. And poor Zach is tortured all the time, and I'm part of it, and it's the best. So I just think about Zach having nightmares of me just right next to him, just screaming at him. And whenever I'm at an event with Zach, I will constantly scream at him. We were literally right together, like this close at an event last year. And the staff brought him a counter to count how many times I yelled at him through the weekend. We cleared 100.
Oh my,
it was so
remember
fun.
that.
And like, it's great to see Zach slowly get broken down as the event goes on. Like, the first time I do it, he's just like, hey. Then the next time I do it, he's like, hey. And by the end, he's just like, just say my name. It's great. So I think of Zach crying. And yeah, I can do it all day long.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi.
Okay, so let's talk Marco's Ladybug.
Sure.
So I know you voiced Cat Lord Adrian, but like you were like surprised on also voicing Felix.
Yes. Was I surprised? Yes. Was I happy? Extremely. Anytime I get to talk to myself in one of these shows, it's my favorite thing. Felix is his cousin. I've also played the akumatized version of Felix, and I also got to sing as Felix in this last season, and it was really, really cool. I just loved it. But yes, I was very surprised, and as we see more of Felix, his story just becomes more and more intriguing. It's like, I've played him so dark in this last season, and I never thought that we would be able to do those types of things in a show like Miraculous Ladybug. Where the themes have gone are just so much more mature than when the show started. Have you watched Miraculous Ladybug? I'll explain the show to you. It's set in Paris, France. There are superheroes, Ladybug and Cat Noir, who do not know each other's secret identities. There's someone in the city that is changed or akumatized into a bad guy, and they transform and fight the bad guy and save the day. Very much like Sailor Moon. And every episode, it's like a new person is akumatized and they save the day. And that kept happening and happening, but then all these other little side stories started coming out. There's this love square. You guys know the love square? It's a square because they don't know each other's identities, and people like to connect them or ship them together. I ship the whole square. I want them to end up together in like 15 years because I love my job and I feel like that's the end of the show. So yeah, a little job security. Let's let them end up together, but way down the line. So yeah, there's all these side stories, and in this latest season, like, it's gotten so deep with the lore and who these characters are and where their powers came from, and finding out other people's secret identities, and once that happens, how they'll react, and other powers coming out. Like, it's just gotten so interesting. It's one of those shows that I feel I've met so many parents who are like, I started watching this show with my 2-year-old, and now I've watched every episode. I'm the, like I start to talk to their kids like, hey there, I'm Cat Noir, and they're like, no. I'm the fan of this show. Like, direct that all. I want all the cat puns.
It's fun to see your passion and the way you're discovering that in the show itself, right? As opposed to getting something where you have the whole script in front of you, you know exactly how to be a part of that, getting in the booth and being like, oh, here we go. We're gonna unpack this today.
And the end of season 5, for anyone who's seen it, that happened while I was in the studio, and I was like, wait, really?
Yes.
This is crazy. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We were talking backstage, anime nerd, so it's nice to have a recommendation from someone who knows.
It's really fun.
We have just a couple minutes left. Question over here.
I love your Dark Panzero Kamaboko cosplay. I got that right?
Yes.
Mantra. Tanjiro. Tantaro. The guy with the hard head. Let's just go with that.
My name is Kamari. So if you put the 4 characters, Aaron, Ren, Inosuke, and Cat Noir in a room, who do you think would win in a fight?
You know, they live in my head. They all yell really loud. You want them screaming in there? I have a really difficult time with these questions. One, for the reason I mentioned before, like, we're still learning more and more about these characters. But if I want to take them at where they are in my journey of the stories, like where they are in the anime, in the cartoon, or to the very end of Attack on Titan, I mean, Aaron's pretty strong at that point. But the others are still training, so who knows? But if we're looking at them kind of where we are in their journeys, Aaron's doing pretty well.
Thank you. Oh, we'll go over here just so we can get in one more question. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, also a unicorn, and Inosuke wants to fight me.
Yes, I remember a fight unicorn.
When Inosuke's attacking something that shouldn't be attacked because he just doesn't know what it is, what's that like for you? Is it hard for you to get into that with him? Like,
You mean like trees?
The train too?
A train?
Specifically?
The beast of the land?
Right, is it hard for you to get into that role when you do that, since it's something you're familiar with, but he's not?
I mean, I'm familiar with headbutting trees as well. I train just like Inosuke. I think it's hilarious whenever he does that. Like, there's these moments where there's a scene going on, and in the back, Inosuke's just like, "Yay!" Just headbutting trees to get his head stronger.
The train is my favorite one, though.
I love it. He was right the whole time. Spoiler. He knows. He knows what's going on. I think Inosuke knows more than he's letting on. Actually, I have no idea. We know very little about Inosuke. We haven't gotten any backstory. We don't know much at all. I know that he has the ugliest cry of all the characters, but not much more than that. So I hope we learn more about Inosuke.
Thank you.
I want to ask, as we wrap this up, what is the best part about your job?
There's so much I love about it. But in all honesty, these experiences at events are my favorite thing. We work in soundproof rooms by ourselves. You pour your heart into the mic and you hope someone hears it. And at these events, this is where you learn that your work is being seen and heard, that it's affecting people in positive ways, that it's motivating people to do things. I met an Inosuke cosplayer this weekend that told me he had been training for months to show off that cosplay. He was ripped! And he's like, I'm at the gym and I just hear your voice telling me to keep going, to lift harder. And it's so incredible that happened. So yeah, thank you guys for allowing me to do these things, to meet so many great people and to share your stories back with me of how my insanity in this soundproof bubble connected to you. It's the coolest thing ever.
Bryce, I want to take a picture so I can remember sharing the stage with you because this is amazing. All right, you guys, give it up for Mr.